Okay, so we got the 1999 Johnson Ocean
2000.
Pro
2000.
2000, but it was built in 1999.
Maybe.
It's the Ocean Pro 90 horsepower. And all the online things say to put it in full reverse first before you drop the lower unit. But you actually want to put it in full forward. In forward gear. So it's in forward gear. We're going to remove this with a number 8 Phillips head screwdriver. No, number 8, 9, 10, I don't know. Number 4, I don't know what the numbers are for Phillips heads. Alright, don't lose that. It goes in there. And we're going to remove this 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter. We're going to pull that out. Alright, then we're going to, with 10 millimeter, remove the 4 bolts that hold this cowling together. 1, 2. And so yeah, you need an extension. 3 and 4. So once that's split, this thing's going to just come right off if you tug it. And because we've loosened this, we took off the clamp for this. This cowling is able to be slid out of the way. You can actually loop it all the way around like this and drop it in the boat. Alright, so from here, we are now going to remove this pin. So you need a pair of needle nose. And I had already removed it earlier, so I don't have it all bent. So I'm just putting all this stuff where we're not going to lose it.
A bucket, I have a bucket.
Yeah, I usually stick stuff inside the neck. Now the trick on the on this particular model year is this is the shift lever that goes down into the lower unit, and there's a retaining thing, and other people online will go in here and unbolt this mechanism, which is all screwed up. All you have to do is pull off this cotter pin. It's now easy to access because you've removed that side of the cowling. And then you start to wiggle this out. And because you put it in forward gear, you should be able to get it forward enough, and you can reach under here and pull and push on this. But you'll feel, I thought I had it full forward, but when I reached down and spin the prop and pushed here, I found I could push it further forward. And once it got clear of this carburetor, it would push all the way to disengage. So now when we put the lower unit back in, we're going to come to about this position and start wiggling and moving this to find the keyway again that it has to slide back into. But it's out now, so now we're going to start removing the lower unit bolts to drop it. We've got it disengaged. Now we're going to drop the lower unit. This is helpful at 14 millimeters, especially if you got one of these, because if you use 14 millimeter is also 9/16 in standard. But even though you can get to that one, it takes a really short one, or you'd have to use short with a universal, which is still very
Tedious.
and not going to work. So you really need a box end here. And this type that has the ratcheting is wonderful. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the other side.
Yep.
This guy, but also there's one underneath the trim tab. So we'll have to remove that. All right, well, it is recording. Okay. So this is my impact wrench, and I've got a really good tip, because if you use a too sharp of a tip, this is not going to work. But this is going to do an impact, so I'm going to push really hard while I impact. And that. Oh, there's a nut on the other side we got to hold. So at least it spins. So maybe we don't have to film that.
Am I strong enough to hold?
Alright, that's not 12. Alright. So I don't know if the Ocean Pro always had this, but this end, this might have been something somebody did aftermarket. But what did I say? This is 7/16 on this particular one.
Is that fit?
And so I'm going to take the screw out. Alright, and the other one. That's good enough. And then, oh, go ahead. You can. All right, the thing holding the trim tab is also 7/16. A full size. Oh, and this one's not 5/8.
That would be too easy.
Okay. So we already said that the four main ones over here were 9/16 or 14mm to get them off. The 9/16, once you've removed the trim tab, there's also one big 9/16 up here that has to come out. And then there's this one, which is 5/8. Is what fits this. And that has to come out. But the 9/16 that you're going to need for this either has to be a deep well, or you have to have an extension to it. Okay, so at this point, we didn't film the actual dropping, but what you want to do is, as you're removing the last bolt, you have to support the unit. Since it's lifted a little bit, it's not going to just fly down on it by gravity, but you'll be able to support the weight of it. Slowly lower it and pay very close attention to the rubber exhaust box that's coming out, and you're going to see a round water tube that's coming out. Pay attention to where they're coming out from, how they engage up into the upper unit, because when you're reassembling it, especially the water tube, it's going to go back up in, and it has to engage into the little slot that's up there. So anyway, just pay attention to that as you're dropping the unit. Watch the internal water tube and where it goes. Also, when you're reassembling, you're going to have to turn the prop to spin the spline to engage back into the engine. So think about that later. All right, so here's a 7/16 socket, removing the 4 bolts that hold the impeller housing together. I can already see, Brandon, that I think that should be tighter. I think this rubber is I think he had a serious bypass leak, but we'll see. We'll see what the new one looks like. You can stop filming.
You used my government name.
Alright, here's the one. Obviously it spins this direction, counterclockwise.
This is the old one.
Yeah, and an important thing to not lose track of is the key right here, and that O-ring needed to be on the bottom. So the key, you can kind of see it matches the shape on the impeller. There's a key shape that's the same direction, so that would be hard to mess up. Okay, it's the new kit back in. we put gasket sealant underneath this, although it doesn't, I don't see why that matters much, because that's the intake side of the pump. But I'm just going to lube up these O-rings as they go on.
What lubricant did you use?
So when it first starts, it'll be lubricated before the water gets to it.
What lubricant did you use?
It's just like a Vaseline. It's actually a pool and spa lube, but Vaseline would work. And I'm just gonna lube these guys. We didn't see how bad the old one was. Let me pull it out and look. There's the old guy. I mean, yeah, it's permanently distorted, but they will be.
They always are, right?
I think after a month. But we got wear grooves in here, and they say to replace the whole kit when it's grooved. But this alone doesn't look like it would have been so bad to cause overheating. So I don't know.
I guess we'll see.
Okay, next is keyway. And this guy. Actually, next is putting together the other end. Like this. I want the new one to look just like that. So the keyway looks like this. Alright, now it rotates in counterclockwise. And unfortunately, the end of the video is missing, and so the deal is you put the new rubber piece in the housing just like the old one comes out. You may have to put it over the shaft and turn the shaft. You would be turning the shaft clockwise to get the wings of the impeller counterclockwise when viewed from the bottom. And then once you've got it in there and you've put on the sealants as stated in the install manual, you just reassemble in the reverse order of how it was taken apart. I hope this helps people, and I'll list a list of tools at the beginning of the video.